Okay, I think we are live. Okay, hello everyone who's joined in today. A warm welcome to today's session. I'm very happy to welcome you to the Masterclass series for Brandstorm 2024. I am Shweta Matre. I lead campus relations for L'Oreal India. Very happy to welcome all the Indian students who've joined it, and of course, students who've joined in from the other countries from South Asia, Pacific, Middle East, North Africa. A warm welcome to all of you, and a good evening, a good night, or a good mid afternoon for whatever time of the day it is for you. We are here today to talk about Brandstorm 2024, a topic that I'm super passionate about. To learn more about Brandstorm, please visit the brandstorm.l'oreal.com webpage. If you're an Indian student, you can always log on to the Unstop page and learn more about Brandstorm. The timelines for all countries are updated already on the Brandstorm webpage. Before we begin today's masterclass session and I introduce our esteemed speaker for today, I want to talk a little bit more about Brandstorm and the mission for this year. As you know, the mission for Brandstorm 2024 is, or rather, the ask from you this year is for you to reinvent the future of professional beauty through tech. Now, I know that you all of you have been researching a lot, doing a lot of your primary and secondary research when it comes to this topic. But these masterclass sessions have been curated specifically for all of you to help you understand the professional division a little bit better, the L'Oreal group a little bit better, and more so understand your playing fields a little bit better. As you know, this year your playing fields are online plus offline experiences, augmented services, and of course, e commerce. Out of all the playing fields, the one that we'll talk about today is O plus O experiences, which essentially also means the new points of experiences that today consumers as well as different stakeholders of the professional products division have. Hopefully, this session will help you ideate and also help you enhance ultimately professional beauty experience for consumers both online as well as offline, as well as drive engagement to build a larger sense of community. So, to lead this session today, we have someone who's actually pioneering this change and leading digital and data transformation for us in the professional products division in India. So, we have with us today Sujay Ray. Sujay, thank you so much for joining in today and for leading the session, not only for India, but also for the other countries. Before I hand over to you, a small advice to the students. Everyone that's logged in, please feel free to ask your questions. The comments tab is where you can put in your questions on YouTube, and I will pick them up and curate some questions to ask to Jay. The questions that we are not able to answer, we will find a way to answer those questions directly for you as well. So please use the comments tab to put in all your questions. So Jay, all over to you, and thank you so much for joining in today.
Thank you so much, Shweta. A very good evening to everyone. Maybe good afternoon also, depending on the part of the world you have joined from. It gives me a lot of pleasure, and I'm really excited, just like you guys, because I'm sure there might be a lot of questions which you all have. So what we are going to do in the next 30 to 40 minutes is that I will take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the division which I represent. I will talk a lot about some of our initiatives which we have taken in the recent past, which should give you a glimpse of things which we have been driving for L'Oreal Professional Products Division in India. And of course, that might give you a little bit of inspiration and, of course, help you craft your entries better. So, on that note, I will just quickly start the day's proceeding. Before that, I'll give you a quick introduction about myself. I am Sujay, as you could have seen from the name on the screen. I head data and digital for Professional Products Division in India. It's been little over 2 years. I have been part of this wonderful organization, but before that, I have worked across multiple industries, across multiple brands, and of course, digital has been my passion point all through my life. So, very excited for today's session. On that note, I'll probably just do a quick tech check and see if you guys are able to see my screen. Are we good? Is my screen visible? Okay, great. Cool, that's me, guys. So, not taking further more time, I will probably start.
We are the cutting edge. 110 years of avant-garde, of defying the present, to go further, to aim higher. We serve hair artists, artists committed to revolutionizing the salon experience, opening space for innovation, empowering to dare, tailored for each, created for all. We are the cutting edge, engaging senses, igniting desires, creating unique experiences to be unique as you. We are the cutting edge, boosted by tech. We push the limits of hair, tech in our products, tech in our salons, tech on all our platforms, tech in every fiber of our thinking. We are the cutting edge. Beauty tech to elevate, data driven to connect, education to adapt, continuously to another evolving world, to be ahead of the curve, always. We are the cutting edge. We care for all hair types, for all humans, because hair defines who we are. We are the cutting edge. We are shaping the future, innovating for progress, caring for the planet, for less waste and more hope, creating the beauty that moves the world towards a more sustainable tomorrow. We are the cutting edge, the future of professional beauty.
So that's what we are, guys. We are L'Oreal Professional Products Division, and we are the cutting edge. Why we are the cutting edge? Because everything which we do has got tech in it. Tech is in every fiber of what we do, whether it is in terms of our products, whether it is in terms of our innovations, whether it is in terms of how we activate our media, how we reach out to our consumers, how we create our consumer experiences. Everything is tech driven, tech loaded, and that is what we are basically. But I'm not too sure if you would have realized there is something very, very unique in the video which I just played. And that uniqueness is something which gives us a big edge. Unlike any other beauty and personal care company which sells beauty products in the market, uh, we are very, very different. And different in the sense we have a pro edge with us, and that is what you would have seen in the video which we just played. Is that we are a unique professional brand which has got more than 100 years of heritage, but at the same point of time everything centers around the pros. When I'm saying pros, it is the entire salon ecosystems around which we work. And that is what sets us apart. And in that entire journey, what we have been trying to do is we are trying to drive a digital transformation for the Indian hairdressing industry by keeping data at the core of everything which we do. So, yes, tech is our overarching theme, but within tech, when it comes to any kind of consumer experience, when it comes to any kind of transformation project, we keep data at the heart. And probably in the next 15-20 minutes, whatever I'll discuss about how we are and how we are crafted and how we think, everything is a kind of a data driven approach. And as I was mentioning, that there is something very, very unique, which is about L'Oreal Professional Products Division. We call it PPD. So in PPD's, data is at the heart of our transformation strategy. And as I was mentioning, we have consumers at one hand, and we have this entire ecosystem of salons and hairdressers, who are the ones who are actually helping us create magic with our products. So what I'll do is that in the subsequent slides, I will talk about a lot on how we are leveraging data and driving all our initiatives for our consumers. At the same point of time, how we are doing that thing in the entire pro and salon ecosystem. So taking a leaf of our some of our consumer initiatives, because what happens when it comes to a consumer, it is probably anybody and everybody, or probably that bullseye TG. To figure out who that person is, that is where we put data at the heart of our media strategy. And you would have heard, you would have read a lot about in your MBA courses, is that okay, fine, there is something called cohort planning. who are these consumers, are they part of a certain tribe, can they be clubbed into a certain cohort. So yes, what we do is that we use a lot of first party data to figure out these cohorts. We plan our consumer cohorting accordingly. Then you would have also heard something like a full funnel media. What exactly is it? Is basically activating each and every touch point to reach out the consumer in the best possible way. So whether it is showing you an ad on a television, or maybe when you are watching a content piece on your mobile, or maybe when you are driving through on a highway and you come across a digital billboard. So all this thing is part of that entire full funnel media planning that we do, and of course data is at the core of it. And then of course all this data, all this planning is useless if you don't have a good KPI and measurement matrix. And that is what we keep on doing that. And you will see how when we do any kind of these media planning, we involve this thing. This might look like a busy chart to you, but if I have to break it down, it has got three segments. Imagine if this is a bullseye TG of mine, a female who is from a high income group, from a particular age group. What we try and do is that with the help of data, we figure out which all are the mediums and touch points which have got very high affinity for this TG. And then basis that, we also try and figure out what all are these touch points which have high affinity. So for example, whether it is music, whether it is online video, whether it is some kind of lifestyle, we figure out each and every touch point and then we try and activate these touch points. Again, data plays a very, very important role. Again, very interesting thing. It might look like very numbers and that, but if you just focus on the center image, it's our D2C website for Caristas. So what we technically do, again, we leverage data to figure out how we can improve the consumer journey. It is all about figuring out which all are the sections which are important for the consumer, where all the consumer is clicking, where are the drop off points, and basis that we enhance the entire consumer experience. And that is what is at the core of what we do, because at the end of the day, we want to create a data driven consumer experience to give a seamless experience to whosoever is experiencing our products online as well as offline. When I'm saying offline, typically it is probably a salon where a consumer is experiencing our product. When I'm saying online, it is all those touch points, whether it is any of our own media platforms, earned media platforms, or even maybe how we have activated our brand across an e-com platform. All this thing consists of that. Maybe the next video will give you a little bit of idea how we activate that. So if you would have seen the last example, it was a perfect amalgamation of how we have integrated our products and products experiences, how we have integrated our entire pro ecosystems, and at the same point of time, created those touch points which are enhanced by augmented reality, which was enhanced by a lot of experiences for the consumers to understand the product, to experience the product, and then probably can take a correct decision for themselves. So what exactly would have happened? Uh, did we thought that one day, okay, fine, there are a lot of interesting, cool technologies. Let's integrate them and create a marketing campaign. No, probably it doesn't work like that. It actually starts from the point is that who the consumer is, what all are their needs, how we as a brand can bridge that gap, can provide them the correct consultation, the correct product so that they can take the right decision. So you would have seen entire tech experience which was there in that video was also supported by a human at all point of time, and that is a very very unique thing for L'Oreal Professional Products division, because we have the human who is the artist, who is the hairstylist, who can give you the best look, who can probably recommend you the best thing. But at the same point of time, we are also creating tools which can help you decide and take those scientific decisions is that what works for my scalp, what works for my skin, what kind of color works for my hair. A lot of those things are augmented, and then that creates a seamless experience for the consumer, whether they are using that product at a salon, whether they are probably taking a virtual try on the mobile and then probably placing an order on an e-com website, or probably doing a scalp diagnosis on the website and then probably buying something from the D2C website. So that is what we keep on trying doing, and then all this thing again rolls back to the entire point of how we are actually collecting that data and creating that segment. So if you see, it's a circular loop. You use that, you identify with the help of data, we create experiences with the help of data, and then you again further collect that data, because then it helps you create those granular profiles. It helps you build that one-on-one relationship with the consumers, and of course the better you know the consumers, the better you can serve them. So always keep these points in mind whenever you are preparing your pitches, is these are the kind of things we would probably be looking at, and this is exactly the direction where the division is heading towards. Now I was talking about the entire consumer piece, so there is a whole lot of thing which we do for the entire pro and salon ecosystems, and I'll briefly touch upon that, because what we feel is that consumers is one part. You reach out to them, you give them the best experience, and you ensure them that when they walk into a salon they get the best experience, but it is half the job done. The remaining half is that how you can empower the salons, how you can make the hairdressers the best in their business. And that is not just their technical skills, but also the skills which we teach them to become a better social media influencer, or maybe better at doing their job, or by becoming a marketer in themselves. Because at the end of the day, we also have lots and lots of salon chains who are independent salons. We have freelancers who are probably doing their own business, how they can reach out to the consumer, how they can attract a new consumer. And of course they have the skills. Once a consumer walks into through that door, they can very well serve them. So keeping all those things in mind, we also have a big mission with us, which we call as our pro influencer program, which is a very simple thing. We are making POLs. What does that mean? All our hairdressers, how we can make them not only do the best styling or the best coloring, but also teach them how to create content, how they can probably shoot that content, what kind of content they do, how they can do collaborations. Because when they keep on doing this thing over a period of time, they become micro influencers. And of course, that is what we want. We want those artists to showcase their artistry across the entire digital universe. That ways they will be able to attract more consumers, they will be able to showcase their more work, and they'll earn more. And that is exactly what we want. It is not just the growth which we as a brand want. We would want the entire salon ecosystem to grow with us, and that has always been our endeavor. So you will see in the next video how we have managed to do that when we have connected with a pro, collaborated with an influencer, and created fantastic content. But in all this thing, we have kept tech and innovation again at the heart. Who would have thought chemistry would be so interesting? In fact, when I also saw this piece of content, that's what exactly I thought. So this is also about to showcase how we have leveraged and integrated all our tech aspects. And that brings me to the last part of my presentation is when I was talking about salons, it is also about enabling and empowering salons to drive their own marketing campaigns. And that has been a consistent effort which we have been doing for all our salons. So how they can do a hyperlocal campaign to reach out to the encatchment area in and around them, how they can probably drive services campaign, whether it is in terms of coloration, whether it is in terms of any kind of scalp services, and at the same point of time how they can also leverage basics thing like Google My Business, so that they are also searchable. Because at the end of the day, if you are searching for a salon or a service, the first thing you will do is you'll search on Google. So how those are the kind of things these salons can improve. And that has been our endeavor, is that not only we as a brand is taking initiatives and driving things for them to understand better, but at the same point of time we are building those capabilities which can help our salons drive their business on their own. All this sums up to that one final thing, is that virtuous loop of consumer connections. So, for example, if somebody walks into a salon, experiences a service, we have the data, we reach out to the consumer with a CRM model, and then over a period of time, try and cross sell and upsell. And that is what creates a long term lifetime value for a consumer. That all happens because when we have the data, when we have the experiences, we create that seamless continuous loop of integration with the consumer, with the brand and the salon. And that brings to my last thank you slides, is that we are in the mission to lead the digital transformation for the salon industry, but together. Thank you so much.
Okay, Sujay, thank you so much for that presentation. And I love how you spoke about not only the different points of experience, but how are we really interacting with consumers and with whatever insights and data we are collecting, how that's being used. So thank you so much. And I'm sure the students learned a lot from it. There are a couple of questions that have come in, and I want to pick them up one by one for you. One of the questions actually came right off the L'Oreal Professional activation that you showcased that video. Very, very interesting activation, if I may say so. The question is that the activation that you just showed us, Sujay, how does it really help the brand ultimately?
Okay, so there are multiple things that activation helped us. First is that it created a lot of brand awareness. Why? Because when we decide to do an activation, it is not just an activation which is there inside a 10 by 10 area. Before that activation, there is a whole lot of background work which goes into, because at the end of the day, we would want people to walk into that particular area and experience it. So there is a whole lot of hyperlocal initiative which gets activated before an on-ground activation happens. That creates a lot of awareness that, okay, fine, if tomorrow I go to XYZ place, I will be able to experience the brand in its all glory. And that is not just what probably the brand says. It is again supplemented by a lot of influencer activities which we do, where an influencer talks about that, whether they will be going to experience that or what they feel about the brand. So this is the entire awareness layer, because you have created some amount of awareness about the brand, and at the same point of time, a little bit of excitement, which if you are interested can probably walk in there and experience it. Now comes the second part of it, which is all about the experience part of it. So whether you have heard about it and then walked in, or you have just walked into that mall that very day, and what the brand is doing is that with that entire experience, it is telling you that, okay, fine, I am brand L'Oreal professional. These are the kind of products I have. This is how I can benefit you. And this is how you can experience me in its full glory. So this is that entire I would say the consideration creation part of it. And of course, it is not just the tech. We also have humans, as I was mentioning. So we have our technical team, we have our promoters who are there to assist the consumers. So all that awareness goes into now some kind of mid funnel thing where people are actually trying to consider, okay, should I get this coloration done? Should I get this treatment done? Will that shampoo work for me and all? So this is what is happening. Now, the third part of it is that now two things can happen. Either if you're so excited, you might want to buy it. So of course, there is a QR code you can scan. You can go to an e-com shop. You can go to the D2C website, can purchase a product. Or because it is right there in the mall, we also have our partner salons. If you want to experience a coloration service because you have just tried to see a virtual try on how a red burgundy color looks at you. So you will see all those pieces, then you can experience a service at a salon. So it is a real sense of O plus O experience. And all this thing, we get the data of the consumer. So today I know that, okay, fine, these many people got aware about my products. These many people have probably said that, okay, fine, I want to do a trial. Or somebody would have just said that, hey, can I have a sample, please? So a lot of this thing gives us an idea about the consumer. And of course, it is not a one-day journey. It is not a one-off activation. Once we know the consumer, once we know that there is a certain level of interest, we try to convert it over a period of time. And that's how we extract the lifetime value. I hope so it answered your question. It was a longish answer, but I tried explaining all the aspects.
Yeah, so I think essentially at every consideration stage, right from awareness till the very end to actually becoming a consumer whose data then we have and we're able to sell effectively to this person, I think at every stage it helps us. So thank you for answering that. There is a very interesting question which I'm going to answer is, does the idea have to be related to the professional products division? So I think Sujay's already said it many times and we've said it in all our communication to everyone who's logged on today. Your solution this year has to be around the professional products division. The professional products division is our partner division for this year. You can learn a lot more about the division through sessions like this. We have one, we had one today, we have a few coming up, but also visit our websites, visit all our social media pages, and you learn a lot about the division there. Okay. There's another question that's come up is, what if our idea is somewhat similar to the technology that is already existing, but is only available in stores and not in India at all? And we are planning to make it available for consumers as well as salons.
If I've understood the question correctly, the technology is available, and is it in stores? That's what the
It's
question is.
available in stores and not in India, but so in stores outside India or any country for that matter.
Okay, okay. See, my short answer to that will be is that do not approach any idea from the premise that, hey, there is this cool technology. Let me create an idea using that cool technology. Always starts
Yeah.
with the point is that there is a consumer, there is a consumer problem, there is a consumer challenge that I want to fix. Now, can I create an experience? If that experience needs a technology, then you should try and integrate that technology. I'll give you an example. AR and VR is not something new. AR technology is there for last 12 to 13 years in India. Outside India, it's been there for a very long time now. But it's not that a decade back we started creating a lot of these AR experiences or a lot of metaverse. We have been like everybody have been hearing about it. Metaverse is there for like at least 3 years plus. But it's not that just because it's a new technology, we will adopt it. We will see if there is a fitment. That is when we will activate it. So never ever think about an idea keeping technology or a solution in mind. Always think consumer first, always think problem first, and then try to solve it with technology.
Yeah, very well answered. Basically, look at the problem and how is tech solving the problem as opposed to, hey, I have an exciting tech. How do I fit it into my larger idea? Great. So, a question in line with this. So the technology must be software, or can it be a technological product?
Uh, See, if I've understood it correctly, and like keeping in mind this is that when somebody says technology is a software, that means it is already an existing technology which you'll probably license and not create from scratch. If it's a license, yes, you can give it a shot, because when you are preparing your business plans and all, you will of course keep those things in mind, that okay, fine, this is a licensed thing, or it is a patented thing. Can it be used, or can't it be used, or the source code is available free, and then something can be developed on top of that. Then your approach will be very different. So yes, you can look into it. Now, coming back to the hardware part of it, uh, my suggestion to you would be is that don't think too deep into figuring out a hardware, because trust me, uh, in an ideal world we would want to do innovations, but a hardware innovation goes through a lot of cycle. We already have a lot of parallel projects going on, which L'Oreal does globally, and they go through a longish cycle of product.
Yeah.
But keeping in mind the theme, keeping in mind what will be expected from you, from this entire initiative, is something which you can activate it in the next 6 to 9 months, and not something where you will create a proof of concept, then you'll apply for a patent, then you will see whether the production feasibility is there. So it will be technically a 36-month cycle. So think for a solution which can work in the long run, but shouldn't take a long time to come into the picture. So that will be my cheat code to you.
Yeah, and we already have some amazing innovations that the PPD division has been doing, which you can read about. In fact, recently at CES also we launched one of our latest innovations. So, guys, there is a lot of stuff already out there. So please read it so that you're not reinventing the wheel. Okay. One question that I will want to answer is the solution, does it have to be relevant to India only? Not at all. We are not looking for solutions for any specific country. A solution, in fact, should be scalable, and that's one of the many scoring criteria that you're going to be assessed on. So it should not be a solution that's only relevant to one cohort in one part of the world. It should be something that, if not in the next 3 to 6 months, as Sujay spoke, maybe in 2 years can be exposed to different markets, maybe in 5 years can be exposed to different parts of the world, and over time should be something that all countries should be able to adopt. So don't limit yourself. The idea has to be scalable. Okay. Again, a similar question, but I think, Sujay, let's answer this for them. Does a project, does it have to be new from scratch, or can we expand a principle that already exists today but may not be in the professional products division? Very interesting question, actually.
Yeah. Thanks for the question. I think yes, because as Shweta was just mentioning, is that there is already a lot of innovation which PPT has done. But at the same point of time, there are multiple other divisions who have done these kind of innovations. And if you strongly feel that some of those innovations can be tweaked and can be used for PPD, absolutely go ahead, give it a shot.
Yeah. And a similar question, which maybe I'll answer, is what if our idea is an innovative product which needs R&D? Should we do that, or should we go only for improving consumer experience with existing products? So, guys, I think what Sujay has been trying to say and what we've been reiterating is, we are not saying that don't come up with an innovative product. Of course, innovation is one of the things you'll be assessed on. Having said that, there is already a lot out there within the L'Oreal group in the different divisions, as well as it could be something that some other organization is doing. Look at what is happening. You don't have to copy paste what's already happening. You have to tailor it, fit it, make it should make sense to the professional products division. So we are not looking that you go outside and look for a technology and then fit it into some problem that exists. Look at the larger problem and then see how is that tech solving it. So look at it from that lens, and don't necessarily look at it from new technology, or is it something that already exists. Okay.
I'll just add on to that, Shweta, a little. The easiest way is that you all have your classmates, you all have your colleagues. Just check with the girl next door what is that beauty
Mhm.
problem she faces, and
Yeah.
then that is your correct market research, trust me. And then if you spend enough time on our international websites, on a lot of other content you'll read, you will already find that more or less we have tried to address them. And if there is a gap area, wow, eureka moment for you. Try and then address those gap areas, and then if the technology fits in, it can fit in. Believe you me, the simplest of the solutions and the most scalable solutions are the best solutions.
Yeah. And in fact, there's a question that's come in that is linked to what you just said. So I'm going to pick that up. Uh, does the solution have to be specific to females only? Because the examples that were showcased for females. So, Sujay, I'll let you answer that.
No. So I'm glad and proud to the fact is that majority of our consumers are females, but that doesn't mean we don't cater with our products to males. I myself use a lot of L'Oreal products because yes, everybody needs shampoo. So I do use shampoos. I do use a lot of other products from other divisions, whether it is skin and all. So it's not like that. Whenever you are thinking about a solution, you are just thinking about a solution for females. Tomorrow you can come back with a hair fall solution,
Yeah.
an innovation around that. That works for both males and females.
Yeah.
So think like that. Don't restrict your thinking that okay, fine, yes, because primarily you have seen a lot of communication around females or a lot of products are being used by females, doesn't mean that you'll restrict the 50% of the population. Just to give you a context, last year in India we launched a scalp range for L'Oreal Professional, and majority of the consumers are male because males suffer from a lot of scalp problem. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think what you're essentially saying is again, what is the larger problem? How is the problem different for with gender? Because according to your gender, according to your age group, according to what part of the world you also live in, your concern could be different. And therefore, what are you solving for? Which again brings us back to the consumer. Okay. I'll maybe pick up one last question, keeping time in mind. The question is, how does the division interact today with its consumer, customers, and influencers?
Okay. Uh, I think the way we interact with our consumer is very much similar to probably how all brands would be doing it. We leverage all touch points, and if you just recall some of the initial slides which I presented, where I was talking about media touch points, whether it is OH, print, television, digital, everything. So those are the kind of touch points through which we kind of send our messages to our potential consumers. At the same point of time, with influencers, we have a lot of deeper relationships. Some of them have been working with us for a very long time. They are our users of products. So with them also, we create a lot of content. We give them a lot of experiences. In one of the slides where you would have seen, everybody was probably looking like a scientist. They act, and believe you me, that was not a set. That was our research and innovation lab. And these influencers actually visited the lab just to understand the entire science and tech about it, because probably a lot of brands talk about technology and all. We are the ones who are actually using and putting technology behind each and every product, and we give that experience. So it is also an experience to our influencers so that they can see the truth at the ground level and can probably create that content and can pass on that message. So it is like a omni channel messaging which we do. What we say, what our social media channels say, what influencers who are probably endorsing our products, they are saying. And of course the biggest thing is our customer reviews, how customers, once they are using, how they are coming back talking about our products on social media, on our D2C websites, how they are giving us ratings and reviews, all these things. So it's a omni channel experience. And of course, because we are a professional brand, so the best way to experience our brand in its full glory is to walk into any of the top salons, and you will be able to see what you can do with professional products to your hair, and whether it is color, whether it is care. I leave the experience to you.
Yeah, and I think that also invariably answers another question that was asked, that does the solution have to be solely around hair this year? And yes, because that's what the division does best. The professional products division is a division that has solutions for hair as well as hair care, hair color, hair styling. And I love the way you ended that answer, Sujay, that walk to your nearest salon. There are salons everywhere where you are. Walk to your nearest salon, and you will truly see our division in its full glory, as well as understand the life as well as the work of a hairdresser, and also understand the salon business in general. And you'll really understand how L'Oreal has been a true partner for the division, for the salon industry for the last 25 plus, almost 30 years now.
Yeah, I'll just double touch on that point, Shweta, because you have again mentioned it very, very clearly. Is that yes, do visit a salon, because the biggest differentiator is that we are a pro brand. It's very, very different from probably any other consumer brands or beauty product, because it is not just about your self care or a DIY which you do. There is a lot of thing which goes into a salon. That's why coloration, styling, all these things which makes you look good, which makes you feel good, is all that happens at salon. That is why, if you remember that first triangle which I showed you, is that there is L'Oreal, there is the entire hairdresser and salon, and then of course we our consumers are. So it's the golden triangle which you have to always keep in mind whenever you are devising any kind of solution.
Great. Thank you so much, Sujay, for your time. We've had a lot of other questions come in, but maybe we'll answer them over email and directly write to the students. Thank you so much for your time, Sujay, and thank you for beautifully explaining what we've been doing at the Professional Products Division. I'm sure you will meet some of these students in the further rounds when you meet them in different forums. And I'm sure this session will really help them ideate and fine tune their ideas. So thank you so much for making time for this. For everyone that's logged in, thank you so much for logging in. And we genuinely hope that this session was very helpful for you. This is just the first of masterclasses in the entire series. And tomorrow itself, at around the same time, you will meet another leader from the division who will talk about one of the other playing fields that we have this year. And we look forward to meeting you again. And we look forward to your questions. And thank you so much for logging in. We'll see you soon.